Hi, good morning. It's like 3:33 in the morning, and at first it was 2:25 when I woke up, like, I'm awake now, and then I look at the clock and it's 2:20. I'm like, no, let's try to go back to sleep, because yesterday morning I woke up at 2:15, and it was a long day, and I was really tired at the end. And then this guy this morning, when I said, yeah, I'm going to go back to bed, he started pawing at the bedroom door at 3 a.m. And I woke up. I think I had just woken up, or maybe that's why I woke up. And he's like doing little paws because he knows it's early. And he knows, like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but I need some cuddles. It's like that feeling when you can't help yourself and you just got to do it anyway. Well, that's what that was, because he kept going. He has like a big meow, and he kept going, meow, meow. Like, he knows. He knows we're trying to sleep. And if it were up to me, yeah, I'd have all the cats in the bed all the time. I have 2 cats. But my husband, I respect this. Like, whenever somebody has a big no in our relationship, they win. And he finally, like, it was hard. There was a heart to heart. Like, we just can't have the cats in the bed. And I know, because that guy, the one that you just saw, he's unpredictable. He's made a mess before. He's whizzed where he shouldn't whiz. And it makes my husband so angry. Oh, so upset. Speaking of upset, I didn't know that's how we would do the lead-in, because all things are related. A Course in Miracles reflection, day 6. Thank God these are labeled, and thank God I'm on the date of the lesson day, or else I wouldn't know which one to be on. I started on January 1st, so luckily, and today's the 7th, and I'm doing the reflection for the 6th, so I need to be on lesson 6. I am upset because I see something that is not there. That's the lesson. I am upset because I see something that is not there. There's a little hint here, not hint, but helpful tip. And there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. And that's how it's telling you to treat them all equally with equanimity. You know, I like that word. And it's saying there are no small ones. Treat them all the same when you do this exercise. It doesn't ever tell you the purpose of the exercise. I think that's the part of the lesson in letting go of the need to know why we're doing this. I'm sorry, this hair, I just am not, it's my morning wake up hair, and this little floppy thing is really driving me nuts. I get a haircut today, yeah. Okay, so I am not angry at blank for the reason I think. I am not afraid of blank for the reason I think. And for me, like I said with lesson, yeah, that was like number 5. So I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I'm not depressed about blank for the reason I think. So this is lesson 5 that we already did a reflection on. And the one I really felt into is I'm not worried about blank for the reason I think. And I think the topic was spiritual bypassing, because we just talked about that in a reading. And so then we go into lesson 6, and it's like, I am upset because I see something that's not there. And so if I apply, I am worried about spiritual bypassing because I see something that is not there. Like, yeah, whatever we're upset about isn't physically, tangibly right with us in the moment. It's all up in our head and thoughts, right? If we're presented in our immediate reality, our immediate physical experience with something, we're not upset yet, right? It's like we're confronted with it and we're like, okay, now I have something to process. Even in the heat, like, of an argument, it's like you're just like trying to process real time. And then if you feel upset about it, it's not really for the reason you think. And it's like you see something that's not there because you have, like, if you're in an argument, I feel like everything's too raw, too reactionary. That's the word. You're reacting, trigger, trigger, trigger. It's like you can't process in the moment what's underneath it all. We're trying to get there. Like, we don't really like have arguments, never explosive, but it's like whenever we've disagreed, we've had to each go off and like process. And we've respected that about each other. And then I got to a point where I'm like, can't we just process at the moment? It feels more real. And no, we can't. Even though like part of me wanted to just like, oh, let's hash it all out. Let's be messy about it. And it's like, no, that's not our way. We like to go off and really like in honor and respect of the other person's, like what they really said. Like, is there something there for me to look at? You know, not just like, oh, you're crazy. Like, we really take each other into consideration. Like, what, even if those hurt, even those like feelings, like that we know aren't 100% like exactly how they feel, it's coming from some place of truth. So anyway, I got sidetracked, but I am upset because I see something that is not there. So it's like I'm seeing something that's not really there. I see something in my mind's eye, some past influence, some future projection that I'm worried about, I'm upset about. And it's like, I see that in my mind's eye, but is it really here in front of me? No. And I think this is a call to like, and again, I'm reading into this because it's not telling us why we're doing this exercise and what it all means. But I feel like it has something to do with that. Like, it's not in our reality. It's just in our mind's eye, our thoughts, our projections, our fears, our ruminations on the past, our hurt feelings. My stomach feels weird right now. I think I woke up too early and I didn't eat enough food yesterday. And I haven't even had my coffee yet. Oh, it's a weird bubble. Sorry. My tummy's upset because it sees something that's not there. It sees maybe a breakfast that it wants, and it's not there in my tummy yet. Oh, more gurgles. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I feel a little queasy. Oh, it's a hot flash. Thank you. The heat's erupting now. That's an intense one because usually I'll get some that make me start with a queasiness. But this one was like a big queasy. Usually it's like a twinge of like, and it passes really quickly and then the heat erupts. This one was like lava. Like lava. The floor is lava. My stomach is lava. Oh, okay, yeah, the heat's coming. I think I'm gonna move through this and be okay. I've learned not to be upset about hot flashes. I can't control them. In fact, the only way I started to be able to control, if that's a word, or like just like ride the flow or the wave of them, is by letting go. Because like every time I'd be like, oh, this is terrible, and be like, like it would just be so miserable. And I used to have them like once every 15 minutes, big ones when they first started, like 12 years ago, 11 and a half years ago now. And yeah, you remember the moment when they started, August 2013. And then over the years, they've slowly reduced. And now I get maybe, up till recently is maybe 1 an hour. Which most women, when I tell, like, we talk about this stuff now, and they're like, that's so many. And I'm like, girl, you should have been around in 2013 when I was getting 1 every 15 minutes or more. Yeah, I was logging them. I'd be at my computer at work. I'd just make hash marks. I'd like, what is this? I gotta understand it. I gotta create a spreadsheet. I didn't, but I did do hash marks. And I was like, holy crap. Like the times, and I'd put like, I think this is 1 every 15 minutes. This is ridiculous. And so women would be like, that's so many. Now I get like 1 an hour. But realistically, like some days I'll be like, I think I only had like 3 today, the whole day. So things are in the right direction. But I think it came from letting go, and I just would kind of fall back on some mindfulness practices or breathing or just sort of like noticing and like treating it with equanimity. I think that word is really important in these lessons for ACIM, Course in Miracles. It's like it's teaching us to see things from a fresh perspective, really look at things with equanimity. Maybe that's why I was thinking about hot flashes when I was talking. Because once I started to see them as just sort of this thing that's happening, it's a happening. It's an experience. And I can either resist it or just ride the wave of it. I feel like I'm upset because I see something that is not there means I'm not riding the wave of that, whatever it is that's like triggering or activating me. I think this one I need, like I've reflected a little bit, but like I said, if you're doing one a day, which this kind of says, yeah, do one a day for a year. It's like you can start to reflect on it and integrate it, but it's not fully integrated, obviously. We talked about this. Like sometimes it takes weeks, months, years for integration, and they're not all going to hit. They're not all going to land in integration land in the same order. So there's going to be like lesson 6 hits today and lesson 52 tomorrow and like in some future point, you know. So I just feel like it's really like the reason I'm upset is like I'm seeing something that's not there. It means it really does point back to like, you know, a trigger really is like my nervous system is getting activated in the now, today, right in this moment, from some prior wound. You know what I mean? That's what trauma is. It's nervous system activation in the now by something that we're not being traumatized by, but it's resurrected in the moment because we haven't healed the old wound to our nervous system, to our fascia. If you want to bring it into the body even more. I just find it fascinating that fascia is so highly innervated. Of course, the body keeps the score. Read that book. I mean, it's got a lot of technical stuff in there, like studies, research, blah, blah, blah. But I think the core of it really resonates with so many people. Like every client that walks in my door, eventually they'll be like, hey, have you read about The Body Keeps the Score? And I'm like, girl. They're all girl. Just kidding. I have male clients too, but they're not the ones that ever ask me if I've read that book. It's always a female client. Well, for whatever reason. Because I think, yeah, because I'm being called into this path of like helping, like holding space for people to heal their wounds. They're their own healer. And so I think seem to be attracting people that I'm so grateful for this because that's what I really secretly wanted. If I had a desire for my practice would be to like attract people that are ready for the healing, not just the ones who are like body work and energy work feels good, but I'm not even aware that I need to be healed, that I need to do my own healing work. That it seems to be that people are coming because they know, like they'll even, like in the words they say, even if we haven't approached the topic head on directly with each other yet, it's like they'll say things that I can tell I'm like, you're right on that threshold. Oh my God, you guys, see, I did leave my cards out from last night's reading. Threshold. I left them out for a reason. I really wanted to see it when I woke up and be like, yeah, we're all on this healing journey. We're all on this healing journey back to our true, authentic selves. And we got to heal those old wounds, layer by layer. A lot of times we don't go back in the same layers, just like I was saying with the lessons. They're not all going to integrate in the same order. Our wounds don't either. Part of me, because again, being a project manager, I'm like, everything's a task in a certain order for a certain, and it's like, I would be like, I want to heal this next and this next. And I think these are related. They're probably going to come around at the same time. No, like, stop using your brains. That's my message to myself. Like, I'm upset because I see something that's not there. Stop using my brains. Like, I got to feel into, like, I'm not upset about this thing. It goes beyond that. And it's not fair to the person in front of me for reacting from my old wounds. I need to just really do my own work before I like lash out at people or say something that I don't mean. And like, we're all on our journey with that too, right? Like, I don't feel like I do that as much these days, but sometimes words will come out and I'm like, did I really mean that? No, I think that's still some reaction to something inside. I don't really mean that word because words matter. You've heard me say that. Oh, I got a hair in my nose. Words matter. They land inside of people. Right, Bob? And Yoko Ono. I love her little book called Grapefruit. It's like, talk about seeing things from a new perspective. I love just opening a random page and they're like word representations of art experiment or art installations. So it's like in her words, she's describing an art installation instead of like showing us a picture of a painting and then putting words to it. It's like she's describing the whole art installation. It's so great. She was a genius. I think she's still alive. Like, no matter what you think about her influence on the Beatles, which I know nothing about. I just know that some people are like, and that song by Bare Naked Ladies, man, I've seen Bare Naked Ladies so many times in concert back in my early 20s. Oh, my heart just fluttered. I think I need to listen to them today. They are like pure, you know? Those dudes, those guys are like, they were just probably sitting around together, telling each other stories in song. Like, they're so, like, their storytelling is amazing and weird and funny. And you know, like, things that really influence you and tell you it's okay to let this part of your personality out. I think their weirdness really planted a seed in me. They're like, it's okay to be weird. Yeah, because you can be my Yoko Ono, and I'll be your... I need to look up... I gotta listen to that song. How did we get here? Yeah, how did we get here? He's like under the table. He knows you woke me up too early. And sometimes when I'm weird, like, and I'm just weird, and my husband's like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I woke up weird. And he's like, I know. And it's usually from lack of sleep. And so, because it's like still in the 3 o'clock hour, I think I got 5.5 hours of sleep. That's not too bad compared to lately, but I still woke up weird. So this reflection is like, whatever I'm upset about isn't what the thing is right in front of me. It's something in my head. It's something in my thoughts. And like, everything's created equal. All these, like, treating our upsets as equal, because if thoughts are nothing, if they're just like this ineffable thing, you know, if you saw that video, you realized I had to look up the word. I still had it saved in my phone browser because I love that word so much. And apparently I knew I was going to forget it. And what's wild is the word ineffable is something that can't be expressed. And I just died laughing when I read the definition after 4 or 5 times in that video going, what's the word? Like, I can't express it. Yeah, because it's ineffable. Unable to be uttered. I love it so much. Oh, it was too perfect, and I'm just crying out of how funny that is. Yeah, where are we? Oh man, I better cut this off. Like, I woke up weird, and I'm not getting any deeper with this reflection because I'm not meant to. I'm just supposed to recognize that I'm not upset like, for the reason I think I am, which is lesson 5. And then, like, what I'm upset about is not right in front of me. It's somewhere else that we're going to have to dig into and explore with our feelings. So I hope you have an amazing, what day is today? Tuesday, January 7th. And like I said, these little reflections are timeless, because if I go back and watch my little video journal reflections at some future point, like, they're going to hit me different then, and that's what integration's all about. So again, these dates are just for the sake of organization, because I'm still keeping that part of me alive and well. Like, ooh, I like organizing things. Do, do, do. Put them in buckets. Yeah. And this guy, he's probably going to be like, I'm going back to sleep now that you're awake. Like, no, we're going to do some cuddling. I'm going to squeeze you so good. Okay, guys, cross over that threshold. You're ready. I hope you have a great Tuesday. Bye.